Hello, hello, hello. It's Shonté again from Stitching Hearts Embroidery. And today I just want to talk to you for a little bit about Essentials module in the Embrilliance software. So over the last week or so, I've made a couple of videos about Essentials or Embrilliance software, and I've had a lot of questions where people have asked me, do you think I should get the next one? Or what is the next thing that you think I should get? And I think that that is a question that each person really has to figure out for themselves. Now, I told you, in my opinion, the software goes Essentials, Enthusiast. You can add some of those like Patch Artist, Aces, some of those other add-on modules. Stitch Artist 1, Stitch Artist 2. And if you want to sell fonts and really sell your designs and you want to be a professional digitizer, then Stitch Artist 3, right? I think, and I say that about Stitch Artist 3 because I don't think that there's some shortcuts added in there, but most of the things you can do having Stitch Artist 2, you just have to take the long road around. And so that's how it is with some of these other modules too. So anyway, today we're going to talk about Essentials and making a patch in Essentials. And the reason I've narrowed it down to making a patch because there's still so many components, so many things within just the Essentials module that we could be here all day. And I just want to give you one doable thing that would help you or encourage you to open the software, give this a try, move forward in learning all the things essential, and then you'll be able to answer the question yourself. Like, am I a digitizer? Am I an embroiderer? Am I both? Because I think that they are really two separate crafts or two separate hobbies. There's digitizing, which is you have to be a little bit tech savvy or tech minded. You have to have a joy in creating these designs. And then there's the embroidering side. And in the embroidery side, the actual physical product side, I think there are a lot more subsets in that. Because some people are like fashion minded and some people are nostalgic. So you're fashion minded and you know color and you want to make the trends, right? And then there's people who are nostalgic and you want to make quilts and baby things and memory bears, right? And so that is your joy. That's the thing that brings you joy in those physical products. And then there are some who are club minded or affiliation minded. And so you want to represent, whether it's like schools or clubs or sororities or whatever it is, your affiliation. And so that is what brings you joy. And so I think that in the embroidery side, that designs don't cost so much that you can't pass that on within the product and pass it on to your customer if the technical side does not really bring you joy, right? It is not a one bundle that you have to digitize and in order to embroider. You really do not, and I think that digitizing takes a lot of time, effort, practice. And if you don't have time, effort, practice to do that and do maybe your real love, which is the physical side, then leave it to someone else. And so the thing is that you have to decide that yourself, right? So I think as crafters, we definitely are consumers. We have a lot within the crafting world. There's a lot of fear of missing out going on. My computer just died again, or it didn't die, but it always gives me this, I guess it's going to sleep and I need to figure that out. But, and so we want the thing, whatever that new, the new shiny penny thing, right? And so, but I would like to encourage you that if you have already purchased Essentials, you spent your money on this thing, to get in there, learn it, use it, figure out all the parts, and then you will know without a shadow of a doubt if you want to purchase Enthusiast or any of the other components, or if you've already purchased them, that just stop while you're ahead and move on to your physical products and remake that money for the money that you've wasted because you didn't realize that the digitizing stuff wasn't for you, and enjoy embroidery. So here we go. So first of all, I have changed my software on my computer to only having essentials on here. So I've taken everything else off so that I can see what you see if you only have essentials, right? I would like to go to the website really, really quick. There are a couple of things I'd like to share. One is if you go here to the downloads folder, you can find the manual for all of Embrilliance, right? I don't know that I find the manual super helpful, but there are some things in there that has helped me, right? So there are some things in there that I've opened it up and there it is. That's what I needed. You know, even though a lot of things it's easier for me to Google, but there's even some online help where you can type in the box and get what you need. But if you've purchased the software, you can leave this manual on your computer, you know, as a download and then refer back to it if there's some thing that you need to remember or recall. So that's the one thing. And then the other thing is that there are a lot of free items within Embrilliance. And so if you have even essentials, just essentials, there are some things that over time, they usually put them in a newsletter and they stay there. So even things from last year and the year before, they're still here and they're still free. And so I would like to show you how to get to those things because that's how we're going to make our patch today. And so when I'm saying making the patch, we are not making a physical patch. That's something for another day. I am really just trying to encourage you to dig into your software, make something, you know, use your imagination or your skills and make something that's doable for you to decide if you want to stay on this journey. If you want to get over that wall, that's what I call it. There's a wall. If you are interested in getting a boost or a help over that wall to the other side of digitizing. So let's see. I completely forgot where, oh yes, I do know. And so there's a place down here where you sign up for the newsletter. It's right here. And then you'll get that newsletter. I don't even know how often it comes out. I never keep up with it. But sometimes on Facebook, I'll see that, oh, there's something new out there. There's a new design. And then I go in and look for it and find it and download it, right? But I do know that there are two words that I used over like yesterday when I was pulling this library together. One of the words is library and the other is envelopes, right? Envelopes. And so let's go to, there they are. So library first. And once we search that, this gives us some free designs and it calls it a library of design. So there's a coaster, there's something this is from February 21st of 2022. But when you push read more, you can download that and it stays in a place that I will show you when we get back to, and here it is right here. It tells you where you're going to find it, right? And what it'll look like when you, I have this 2018 collection because these free items stay here free, right? And so here it is, the 2018 free designs in a library. And so some of these things might be helpful for you if you are trying to make patches. And again, I say patches because patches are basically easy to make. And even if you only have a 4x4 hoop, that's something that you can make and you can sell and you can make more money making that. And so if you decide that you want a bigger hoop or you want to move forward with digitizing, make the money and then buy the stuff. So here we go. Here is a library of hearts. I like this and I've used these before. And so you click on the read more and it tells you all about downloading them, how to get it into your software and where you'll find it. And so that is a a big deal especially if you only have essentials, because there are going to be some designs in here that you can use, even though you cannot maybe physically make your own, like digitize your own designs, because you just have the first module, right? So the next word is envelopes. So use search envelopes, and this is what we're going to use today. So when you download this, this folder of designs, tells you exactly how to do it. You download it right here, tells you what you'll get, and it's step by step. And this is what will show in your software. These are called envelopes and not just shapes or satin stitch designs or applique designs, because they are set up on the back end within the software to change whatever you type into the shape of the envelope, right? And so you will see that this envelope is this line, this light line. It does not stitch out on your design, but it puts your wording, your letters into this shape. Envelopes is something that you can do definitely in Stitch Artist 1, where you can make something the shape of whatever you can make an envelope shape for, right? So if it's a cat's face, you can make an envelope within that cat's face, because you have the tools to do that in Stitch Artist 1. But even if you only have essentials, they're giving you some free envelopes. So let's jump in there, download them, and get to using them, right? And so all the instructions are here. So now let's get back to the software. There we go. And let's find it. So I had a lot of examples up here of ways to use some of the built-in things to make a patch, right? I don't know that we'll get to all of them, but at least I will help you to understand or encourage you to jump in and give it a try. I did not name them. Oh, I have more. There we go. So here we go. And so in the software, this is only essentials. This little wheel with the arrow here, when you click on that, now I get this box because I've removed ACEs from my software for now, for the purpose of this video. And so I've confused my software a little bit, so I'm just going to get rid of that. And so here we go. This window pops up. Let's see if I can move this bar. And so the first catalog that I see, let's do the drop down. So I see Embrilliance. And this is one that is automatic when you download the stuff. The important one to me for making these patches is this heart, maybe a lot of them, this butterfly, this dog paw, all of these where you can either purchase a design or use letters in like from a BX font to put in these designs, and there you have your patch. It is really that simple. Now, making a patch, I said, is something for another day, like the physical part of making a patch. Do I have a patch here? I don't know. But the physical part of making a patch is for another day. So I'm just talking about using the software to create the digital part of patch making. So the one thing that I told you about downloading, so here we go, the shared blog. I see that wheel. Don't tell me things are going to get goofy. Here we go. So there's a butterfly. That's something that could be used in a patch, right? There's an apple, the spangled design. There's some things. There are all of these months of the year designs. And I better stop playing around because it looks like it's a little confused again. Look, it says it's not responding. Please don't crash on me. Okay, so let's get to where we're going. So here are the envelopes, right? Here they are. this heart is the one that I put on my screen. So I would like to, can I move this? Yes. I would like to open a new screen. I would like to click on this heart and push OK. Did it go in the other screen? Oh, what just happened? Let's try that. Oh, did I say okay? I did. So I don't know. There it is. We got our heart. And so the heart, the word heart is here within that envelope, right? So if I click on the letters in the objects panel, it brings up these properties and I can change this word. I want to just make it a one-line word. It can be multiple lines, and I'll show you that too. But I wanted a one-line word. I wanted to say, let's do all capitals. Let's let it say basketball. Excuse me. Let me get a quick drink. There we go. And then I'm going to, so this has a bounding box around it. I'm going to click outside of that box, and the word turns into the shape of that envelope. So it is contained within that envelope. So when you go to stitch this out, you're going to have your position stitch, your tack down stitch that would allow you to cut around your material. And did I do that right? Let's see. So this is only giving me 2. It's going to give me, let me go into the colors, and right up here it says applique. And so that says applique position. That's exactly what I want. And then I want also a different color for applique. I always like a position and a materials or a placement. So now I have position, placement, and my final stitch around. And then next I have the word basketball, so in red there. And so that is a patch. That is all that it takes. I like to use a clear material as a stabilizer that's made for making patches so that I don't have to cut up and do a lot of cleaning at the end. And I also like to cut my material in the hoop so that, again, I don't have to clean up and do a lot of stuff at the end of my patch, that I have a clean ending to my patch when I'm done stitching out that satin stitch. So that is just that easy. So the thing that you would need to do is go in and try different fonts. Try some different lettering styles and see what you get. Like if there's something that you, there we go. So those are like skinnier letters. That's like going to be like a satin stitch. There's all kinds of ways that you can change this. We can even go back to letters and do a multi-line. Basketball, I'm going to push enter. So if you're looking right over here, and I'm going to put star, right? All caps, star. Enter, S-T-A-R. And I'm going to say set, right? And then I need to click outside of that. That's goofy. So that is not the font that would work well for this design, right? But you get the idea that I can go back here. Let me go back to that block font and see how that. And so that top word is trying to make the shape. So I think there's something that I can do. I can click on the word star and stretch it out. Like there's just like, learn this stuff. There's so many things that you can do. Stretch out the word star and see how that does. A little bit. Probably stretch out the whole word. So let's get the A and make it wider. Let's take the R and scoot it over. Let's take the T. I might be getting somewhere here. And make it wider. Let's take the S. I'm clicking on this green square and moving it, right? And then I'm clicking on the bounding box of just the S, right? So let's see. So there you go. That's doable. And then the other part to this is you can go right down here to the bottom and it says line space. And so you can move that closer. That's further apart, closer together. Except it took it back to the beginning. So let's bring my S, make it bigger, scoot it over. Let's make my T, make it wider. Let's take my R, make it wider, scoot it over. And then take the A, make it wider, scoot it over. And let's see how that does. So I decreased the space in between the two words. And it's okay. I think that those letters can even be stretched a little more to fill that space up. And so that's the part about playing in this software to determine if this is something that brings you any kind of joy, like making the design to determine. And then you will be able to determine if you want to move on to the next module, if digitizing is even something for you. The next patch example, which I'm only going to give a one or two more, is this one. So this is a design. So I'm going to go to Applique Square and delete that. This is a design that I found in either Stitchtopia or Creative Fabric. I'm not sure which one. Oh, it says Stitchtopia right there. So from Stitchtopia. So this is something that's already digitized, right? It's the picture is there. And if you want to make a patch that says, be kind, you have your design. You go right up here to this wheel and you go in your catalog and find appliques. It's not that one. It's in the Embrilliance catalog. Go to applique shapes. We can make it a round patch and it's going to give me that round circle. I need to make that larger. I'm going to actually have to make it smaller to fit in this 4x4 hoop so I can make my design a little smaller. So there it is. It's in this hoop and there is the patch. Now, because right now we're working with Essentials and not a Stitch Artist module, we don't have the ability to like add the stitches behind here, or at least I don't know them, right? I want to go over here and I want my applique circle to be moved first and then my be kind wording next. But you can make a patch. You can make a leather patch or a vinyl patch. You can make a patch out of twill. I like polyester more than cotton twill, but it's a preference thing. You can make a patch out of felt, which is probably, as far as I know, the most traditional way to make patches. You know, a long time ago, there's always been felt patches for as far back as I can remember. And so you can use a piece of felt. This is going to give you all of the parts to the applique, your position, your material, your satin stitch. And those are what you need to make that patch. And so back to where I started, that if you I'm just here to encourage you to open up the software and make a patch. At least design a patch. And then we can come back another time and talk about the physical part of making a patch. So get in here, decide if this is something that interests you at all, digging around in this software, finding all of the built-in features that came with what you spent your money on, and decide if it's for you or not. So I'll just run through really quick some of the other built-in designs. You can make a patch that looks like a police officer shield or an interstate shield. And if that is how your mind moves or functions, then you can use these to make some pretty interesting things. These are novelty shapes. You could use this pendant and shape your letters within that pendant to make a patch. These are some motifs that I've downloaded probably from that newsletter. I don't even remember at what point. Either I got that from the newsletter or it was probably a free download for attending like a class at an embroidery conference. These are shields or borders that you could use. And then back to our applique shapes. Here are some other frames. So this could be a patch shaped like a balloon. All of these, this could be, you can make an ornament out of that without purchasing anything. And then these are some alignment tools that I have not really used before, but they're there, and there are some videos and some information in the newsletter to help you use those. So let's get out of there. Let me show you one more thing about lettering before we go. And so here are my letters. I'm going to write the word Shonté, my own name. There you have it. So in Essentials, you have the ability to make your wording into round, like to fit a round patch. So I would go up here. That thing is bugging me. I'm going to go in shapes, choose that circle again, push OK. I have a circle. Let's click on my wording, make it smaller. Let's bring it right to the top of this, maybe about right there. And then over here in the properties panel, use this radius button to turn those letters to fit the shape. You can even move like each letter one by one if you need to. But this is, again, another part of digging in and learning the software. So I'm going to tilt that one a little bit more that way and go down here. So you can make it small, large, and work with it to fit within this shape. I think I had it better a minute ago. Let's see. Maybe something like that, and then move it down. I think the whole thing needs to turn a little bit. And so this blue dot can rotate, and then it's there. And then you can put a word at the bottom. So that's making a patch, and you only have Essentials. It is doable, I promise you. So I'm going to put my last name. I'm going to put it there. Going to make it definitely a lot smaller. But I'm going to go right over here to it says place on the bottom. How easy was that? So I need to space out my letters a little bit. There you go. Maybe make them a little bit larger and bring them over to the bottom of the shape. Turn it. And I'm really just giving you the ideas of what you can do, because if you are a crafter and you have a love for crafting, then your creative brain will kick in and figure out what words or what wording you can use to make this patch. You know, it could say, I love basketball, and then you can purchase a basketball design. It can say, I am a survivor, going in a circle. And you can put the date at the bottom and then purchase a ribbon, a cause ribbon for the middle, and you have a patch. You have used the free portion of the software to get your applique or your satin stitches around there. Now, the thing that you can't do is there's not a whole lot of manipulating you can do with the actual applique part. There's a little bit, but not a lot, and we're not going to dig deep into that today. But there's not a lot you can do, and that's where you can decide if you want to move up, if you want to get over that wall and start digitizing, because you know that there's something in you that wants to be able to manipulate the stitches a little more, like change the satin stitch and add some things and make it more dense or less dense. So really with essentials, you're almost just limited to the basics, but the basics can be a lot, right? So there is that word again. And I'm going to show you another thing that you can do with it. So let's move the circle out of our way. Let's click on that name over here to click on letters and change it back to a straight line. And so I went through my baseball making era, right? And so I wanted these letters that were wider on each end, right? And then more narrow in the middle. And if I tell you that I did not realize at the time that that was a basic function from Essentials, right? And so here is the word. Here's my name. Let's make it a little, let's get rid of that. It's kind of distracting. If you go, one thing you can do is in the style box, click on the down arrow. This will turn your words vertical, right? This one will just give you some letters like a monogram. You can put 3 letters in there and you have it. And then depending on the font, that could be a really fancy monogram. This bridges the bottom. So if sometimes there's like a shoulder patch that you may see on like an official kind of, maybe a Boy Scout or an officer type of shirt, that gives you that bridge at the bottom and straight across the top. Depending on your font, depending on the letters that you use and the word, you can make a patch. Let's see. The other thing is, let's go back there. So there's pin it down. There's just all kinds of things that you can do with your lettering. I think going down here, we're getting a little bit out of patch making, but maybe not, because if you already have a shape, a applique type shape where you already have the 3, the position stitch, the tack down stitch, and the satin stitch, or your outer edge of your patch, then this could help you to make a patch, because let's go back up, because it'll help you to fix the lettering within the design. So back to Shonté, I'm going to say I want the top of the word to grow and use this little slider. Look at that. And so there you go again, where you are manipulating these letters to fit into your design. I want to maybe get back to center. I'm trying to remember what I use. There we go. So I'm going to say peak at the top, and I'm going to say shrink at the bottom. No, that's not it. I'm going to say peak at the bottom, but bring it this way. And so if you need your design to be curved a certain way, I think you just have to play with these sliders. There we go. So that's what I was looking for. So if I was doing like a baseball design, then this is how I could shape my letters. These may not be these pointed, really pointy end block letters, may not be the best font for this design, but I think that you can understand what I'm saying. So I peaked the top and the bottom, and I brought both sides, both sliders, all the way to the left. And it got me this design where my letters go in the middle. And so this is just another area within Essentials that you can play around with. These drop down, look at that. That just gave me a quick kind of, it looks like it's shouting in the middle. So you can play around with these sliders. This one right here gives you multi-text. So I can say my name is Shonté. Shonté. I'm going to push enter. No, it's not even what I wanted. I want a single line. So my name is Shonté Session, and I love embroidering, right? And then I'm going to take the circle tool and the radius, change the radius, and then let's make my screen smaller, get rid of this circle. And that, so that's the font is not the right font. And I just threw some words in there. Let's see if we can make that a little bit better. Let's use something like that. A little bit better. So I can see, I would probably take this word, this letter, move it right on around here, turn it around, and that's not too bad. And so, and I could have my initials in the middle. Like you have to get your creative juices flowing, and there's so much you can do just within Essentials. And so that, making that circle, this radius, and so you can make that into just, I am sliding this slider here to increase the circle. And so even with this, I can click on this word and bring that in and make this a whole circle. And so that's the part of playing in the software. And then I believe each of us will be able to decide if this part of embroidering is worth our time, energy, and effort to get over that wall, or if you just want to concentrate on creating the beautiful designs with like stitching color. So that is it for today. That went a little long, and I hope it wasn't too confusing. I feel like there's a million things to share, and I am just trying to break them down into bite-sized pieces, and it looks like this one kind of ended up being a mouthful. So leave me a comment or a question, and if you have any questions about a font or where to get something or something that I use, rather than me saying that I'm going to link it in the description and not getting to that today, I'm just going to tell you, leave me a question or a comment, and I will respond and get the information to you that you might have. So for today, or as soon as you can, open up your software, get in Essentials if you've already purchased it or you're thinking about purchasing it, and play around. And then that'll be a good gauge on whether or not you want to move forward to get over that digitizing wall. So I will see you guys next time. Enjoy your day and happy embroidering. Bye.